Sometimes the most spiritual thing that you can do is nothing. It's nothing. And maybe it's also, I don't know. It depends where you are. Like, it's so subjective to where you are, who you're surrounded by in your life. But what I've found to be such a beautiful experience is coming back to earth and is familiarizing myself with what I signed up for. And I signed up for this human experience, and you did too. And so we're here, and there is soil as the ground, and there are plants that grow, and there are animals that live with us, and there is air that we breathe, and there is light from the sky. And we are in this magical, wonderful place that we get to call home. And we are a reflection of that. Our bodies and the planet are so similar, with all the different microorganisms, with the amount of water that's on the planet, that's in our body. And what I've found in this spiritual journey, in this health journey, is that things can become so overcomplicated, and that people and humans, spiritual beings having a human experience, can lose themselves in the process of trying to find themselves, which is completely normal and completely part of the process. But what can be an issue with that, I don't know if it's an issue really, but what can be something that will need maybe recorrecting with that is that then we form this idea that we have to be fixed, that we are broken, and that there is something outside of us that we need in order to be okay. And we know this isn't the case, right? You're probably hearing these words and you're like, oh yes, maybe you've heard this before, or maybe, it just resonates deeply, where at the root of your being, you are whole, you are okay, you are enough, you are abundance, you are worthy, and you are infinite. But there have been so many patterns and conditionings and beliefs and systems and all these different things that we've been exposed to that convince us otherwise, that convince us that we are anything but that we are separate from the source that we truly are, from the one infinite consciousness that we truly are. And so right now, you and I and many of us here are consciously on this journey of waking up, are consciously on this journey of coming home to ourself. And Odie's barking at me right now, but we know each other very well. Hello? See, now we're okay. That's so funny. So we're on this journey of coming home to ourself. And what is the self? The self is that one infinite consciousness, right? It is the source that we all are. And so we're just remembering the light that we are. We came to experience the contrast, the darkness, the shadows, being the light that we are, so that we can bring light through it, but also experience the darkness. The darkness isn't bad. The darkness is where the light is born, right? And so there are so many opportunities in our life where we can bring forward the truth of who we are. But that doesn't require so much, right? It just requires consciously choosing to remember who you are. Consciously choosing to remember that you are not these limiting beliefs, that you are not the worry, the blame, the shame, the unworthiness, the guilt, the fear, the lack. And as you have this experience within your mind, you get to start changing your field. And as you're changing your field, you then change your reality. You can reality shift. You can shift identities. You can have a completely new perceived reality by choosing it. And we overcomplicate this often by thinking that we need the next fancy gadget, that we need to eat a special diet, that we need to restrict like a whole macro, like a, carbs or fat. I don't know anyone that has restricted. Actually, no, I do know people that have restricted protein myself. I did the 80-10-10 diet where it was 80% carbs and 10% fat and 10% protein. And that served a purpose for a short time. It's when I had my spiritual awakening and I was on that vegan kick, and then, it just wasn't sustainable. And what will be most sustainable to you is just doing whatever you want. It's living the life that you truly desire. And as you choose to go down that path, that will mean choosing the things that feel good. And maybe you feel good on certain things that other people don't feel good on. Maybe you feel good doing things that other people don't feel good doing. And every single thing will serve its purpose. A lot of people, I think, especially people who are like devoted to going to live in like spiritual places and spiritual communities and whatnot, I think that has such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful after effect that comes from it, and also like a during effect. Like, you're going to receive so much from that. But like, I was speaking with one of my clients today about how he was watching a TV show that felt very dark, but that was showing him the lesson that he needed. He was learning about bringing the light through dark experiences. And so maybe we just kind of forget that these things, these mundane things, these human things that often many people do, they can be very spiritual. And so living in a place, in Italy on a horse farm where the focus isn't necessarily spiritual growth, I find it to be extremely spiritual, because there is very little competition in an environment like this. Because in an environment like this, people are really focused on, the animals are focused on just living and being, and not trying to have more than their neighbor and be more than their neighbor. And so that to me is the future. And we're moving from this 3D energy, which if you look at the chakras, we have our root, our sacral, our solar. The solar is all about identity. It's the third one. It's all about self, right? And it's self-expression, which is wonderful. And that's where Earth has been for a while. And we've been in that 3D energy of identifying the self and getting to know the self. And now we're shifting into more of a heart space energy, a 5D energy. We're going up the chakras, up the energy systems. We are opening up to the divine. And what is the divine? The divine is connectedness. It is the one infinite consciousness. So we're moving into that oneness, right? And so when we start to embrace that oneness, we start to see that we are one with the animals, we are one with others, we're all a reflection of each other, and we make it a lot less complicated, right? Because it doesn't have to be so complicated. And I think that, there is a time and a place to do all the fancy courses and have all the fancy gadgets. And I love, love, love my fancy gadgets. I love all the cool health things and everything. But living a minimalist lifestyle here on this animal sanctuary farm, horse farm in Italy, in my van, traveling around Europe with my dog, I sold everything pretty much that didn't fit into 2 suitcases. And I decided, I want to experience what life is like simply, where I'm not in this environment where, I'm going to my doctor for everything and she's telling me how to live, and I'm, following all the fitness trends, and I'm wearing all the nicest workout clothes, though I still love all that stuff. I just wanted to see what else is there when we simplify everything. I was like, I don't really need much. I need a pot, a pan, water, gas to run the pot and pan, my favorite outfits that can be good in all the different seasons, and then I can see clearly. We have so many things, so many thoughts, so much taking up space, but we can simplify our life, simplify what our goals are, what our visions are, what our intentions are, and what does it come down to? It probably comes down to peace. And so, okay, if the goal is then peace and to feel joy in your human experience, what will bring you that? And listen to what comes up, because what comes up might be true and in alignment with the question, but it also could be your subconscious beliefs and patterns that are then giving you the opportunity to see them clearly. And when you see these subconscious beliefs and patterns saying, I really want the fancy car and the fancy house, you have to go deeper. Okay, why does that give me peace, right? And really, a lot of the times we think we want these things, but it comes from, maybe our society or the people that we're around or the things that we've watched or whatnot telling us that we want these things and making us believe that our intentions for wanting these things are something other than they're not. And so it's really important to have the self-responsibility to challenge your beliefs and challenge yourself to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then reassociate what is important to you. And what are you focusing on? What are you prioritizing? And what are you overcomplicating? I used to, and there's a part of me that still has this within me, but I still work on bringing awareness around it every single day. There's a part of me that misses California and somewhat dreams about the life that I used to dream about, where it's having, my beach house facing the ocean with my Tesla and my meal service that I loved at the time. And it was, like this colorful plant-based meal service, always delivered to my door every few days with breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks. And they were organic, well, not organic, but they were all wonderful in Whole Foods, and it was great and it was easy. But I was like, okay, well, I'm challenging this. What if, I considered the fact that the earth grows the land, or the earth grows food, and, I can make my own food. I don't have to, live this life where I'm relying on something else outside of me. And I can come back to the roots that I have here on earth. I'm part of this earth. This earth provides for me. And so we really, I think, have lost so much touch with what human experience could be. And we think we need the fancy meal service. We think we need the fancy spiritual courses and practices and rituals and the morning routines and habit stacking and biohacking and all these things. But really, maybe it's just simplifying your life. Maybe that's what could really serve you on this journey of finding peace. And it's going to look different for everyone. I don't think that the lifestyle is for everyone, like living so minimally on a farm. But there are things that you can do in your life to maybe declutter and make space and make simple and stop looking outside of yourself to get what you're looking for. Maybe the answers and the solutions and the resources are all available to you. They're literally sitting right in front of you. Like, I use the example of growing your food because I couldn't believe the thoughts and the conditionings and the beliefs that I had around the fruit growing on the trees here. I was like, there's no way I can just eat that piece of fruit off that tree. Like, my brain was telling me, like, I need to go to the grocery store for that. I was buying apples and I was buying these, fruits, but we literally had an apple tree here. We have these different fruits growing, and I was like, why can't I just accept it? But that's why you have to challenge yourself, challenge your beliefs, challenge all the programs that have been ingrained in you to think that it has to be more complicated than it is. You can literally, this is a metaphor, but you can plant a seed and all of it will grow for you. And it can be that easy. You can choose what you want and it will all grow for you. It'll all come to you if you just get out of the way. If you just make space and you just follow your joy, follow your curiosity, and stop putting your energy towards things that are not truly what your being desires. There's the conversation of if the being desires, but what I know to be true and feel to my core to be true is that we have these desires, and that these desires are our guiding light. And some of them are true, and some of them are from our subconscious patterns and beliefs that come from society and others and ancestors and parents and all these things. So you have to decipher and then follow the ones that are true, and you will arrive there, and it might look a lot different than you ever expected. The life that is most in alignment with your truth and your soul is probably different than you are expecting right now, but it's probably better than you ever imagined as you choose to let go and surrender your old identity. The future you, who has everything that you truly want, is a different identity than the you right now. And sometimes that requires grieving and letting go of this version of you, but also loving this version of you for getting you to this moment, for giving you the opportunity to walk into the next chapter. And that next chapter can start right now. It can literally be in this moment with a choice. You can choose to plant that seed for that life, and you can choose to let go. I always say in the ceremonies that I host and have with myself, I choose to let go of everything that is not serving me for my highest good. I choose to live in the timeline where I'm in alignment with the truth of who I am, where I am living in my highest truth for the highest good of all. I choose to be in alignment with the truth of who I am. I choose to be in my healthiest, happiest, most optimal life, body, mind, spirit, and thank you, and so it is. And so we can encompass everything that we truly desire, everything we want to move into, by saying simple statements like that, and then letting go, and not thinking that you have to do more, be more, heal more, fix more, knowing that you're okay right now just as you are, and that, everything around you is spiritual, is exactly as it's meant to be, is divine. And if you're called to doing something that maybe isn't spiritual or isn't in alignment with your personal development habits and habit stacking and biohacking, know that it is divinely set up and designed for you if you're called to it. And there is a lesson in it that no spiritual teaching could teach you, right? Even if it's not the most conscious movie or the most conscious book or the most conscious group of people or the most conscious whatever, there might be something that you, being a conscious being, will be able to gather from that experience. And so you can let yourself have that experience by letting go of attachment and judgment of yourself and of how it should be. Attachment of how it should be and judgment of self. So I'm glad that we could do this before the sun is completely gone. I'm going to go have a nice early night, light a candle, read a book, Sarah J. Maas. It's been a while since I've been able to pick up my book and just have an early night. I wasn't feeling super great today. I feel nice right now because when I make these videos, I just feel like I channel something that charges me up, and it feels very, very good and rejuvenating. My cousin left this morning. We dropped him off at the train station. My aunt left the other day. I'm supposed to go on my road trip tomorrow, now that the van is driving, so I can test it out. I was going to do 2 nights out in the mountains somewhere and just kind of enjoy having the van driving, make sure it works. If it doesn't, then my friends will come save me. And then in a few days, I'm going to the States with Arlo. We're going to go visit all of our friends, see some family, go to our favorite places, our favorite walks, and it'll be so great. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, leave a comment if you feel called to do so. If you don't know what to say, you can say hi to Johnny. This is John. His name is Hot Rod John officially. He's been here for a while. Him and I have been bonding hardcore recently though. He used to hang out in the stables over there before we got those stallions, and when it was dinner time I would go over and get him and I would just say, "Hi John," and then he would start walking by me without needing to have a halter on or the rope, and then we would run together and we would run over to the feeding station area, and it was very, very sweet. So him and I are now pretty bonded. And so other than that, if you want to sign up for one of my programs, I have 21 days to know your divine guidance, 21 days to rewire your mind. Divine guidance is all about going into your heart space, learning how to communicate with your angels and guides, your higher self, to make decisions that will last you a lifetime. Like having this strength and this ability and this muscle developed will give you that confidence to go into your heart space and ask the divine to guide you through the rest of your life. Rewire your mind is all about getting familiar with your chosen timeline, walking into it, visualizing it every single day, going into that high vibrational state, firing together new neurons, rewiring your brain. And by doing this, you're healing your nervous system. It's so powerful. I put pretty much all my tools that I use into both of those programs, and I am so, so happy to have them out and available to you guys. I also have one-on-one availability, not for a few weeks. I think maybe there's one more day that I could have bookings on, but then when I'm in the States, I'm not working with people. And then when I come back, I am available for new clients. And I think that's it. Johnny Boy is here again. So he really wants you to say hi in the comments. Hello, Johnny. Baby. So, so sweet. This electric obviously is not on. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.